Hey patrons, welcome into our love reading for Scorpio, Sagittarius, cusp energies and placements. I thank you guys so much for being here as always and for tuning in. We're going to see what's going on with Scorp Sag energies for Venus's retrograde from March 1st through April 12th, okay? So let's go ahead and see what's going on here. Divine Mother, Heavenly Father, Holy Spirit, my ascended ancestors, and all holy angels, thank you so much for being here with me and with my patrons. What's going on with Scorp Sag placements during Venus's retrograde? Okay, we've got Ethereal Touch, 27. The Bride offers herself. Okay. I'm hearing unforgettable. That's what you are. Cosmic Butterfly. Okay. Alrighty. You've got 27, 43, and 36 here with the Seed of the Heart. Number 25 breaking down into a 7. 27 breaking down into 9. 43 breaking down into a 7. And 36 breaking down into a 9. So 79 or 97 could be repeating numbers for you, important synchronicities and messages. I think here, Scorp Sag, during Venus's retrograde, you're going to have a big perspective shift or this sense of new awareness around maybe what kind of, especially if you have Venus here in this part of your chart or in these energies, kind of the role you play in your relationships and partnerships, which I don't know that you maybe fully understood or understand up until this point, and maybe that's what Venus's retrograde is kind of ushering in, a deeper understanding or understanding around you being this cosmic butterfly that has this ethereal touch, okay, and that there is someone for you with the Bride offers herself. Maybe you've gone through a lot of love cycles where you've offered yourself as that bride. Didn't maybe necessarily go the way you thought, but yet you planted a seed in the hearts of those that you have connected with, whether platonically or romantically, in work, wherever, okay? Doesn't necessarily only have to be romance with love energy, but just keep that in mind, okay? But there is this kind of etheric touch that you have that I feel like Spirit wants you to own a little bit more. Maybe there have been seeds planted in you, I want to say seeds of doubt planted in you that made you feel like you should shy away from connecting with that aspect. But I think you're kind of letting those seeds uproot themselves, or you're uprooting them, letting that go and understanding that it's okay to be and walk and exist in full knowledge of who you are and not feel any shame around that, not hide that, okay? And I do feel like this has maybe been a very difficult journey to acceptance for you, Scorp Sag. That might be resonating with this. Because it's like the Bride offers herself. It's like I've offered myself. I've opened myself up. I've, done all that I can to connect in love and to give my all, or to be there or be that light, in whatever way that kind of resonates with you. And it's almost like every time you think you're offering yourself, you end up going through this cosmic butterfly type transformation. So it's almost like, imagine going into like a connection or a relationship, and it's like, okay, cool, like I'm here, I'm exploring, and I'm happy, and then poof, you have to go into like a cocoon, and then all of a sudden you're in this chrysalis, and then there's this change, and then now you have new wings and you're in some sort of new universe, new reality. That maybe brings an end to that connection or relationship or partnership or whatever that may be. So that can be very difficult, especially for the scorpionic energy, where change doesn't necessarily go over too well, especially when emotionally connected. And we're talking about relationships here. So having to see those shifts and changes in relationships and partnerships that you felt very emotionally invested in or emotionally connected to has maybe been more than difficult. I can definitely feel, but it's almost like Spirit's trying to get you to see your wings as opposed to the difficult journey that it took to get those wings. Or I almost feel like some of you have sets of wings. Like you might be able to look back at your life and see different phases very distinctly in your own energy. So I'm just getting that there's this need to trust that in those connections, again, whether platonic or romantic, you did what you needed to do, or you did what you were meant to do. There's this feeling of like almost failure I kind of am picking up on, like Seven of Pentacles. And I think you only feel that because maybe you don't get to see how that seed grows that you were guided to plant, or you don't get to see, yeah, it's like that's the emotional part. It's like you don't get to see how it has an effect. And so, or you don't get that recognition for planting that seed in the first place, right? Depending on the circumstances or the situation, or the simple people might not even know you've planted a seed. And so it's that maybe a little lack of appreciation, a lack of knowingness, lack of awareness that you've struggled with in relationships and partnerships. But I see Venus retrograde coming in and kind of cleaning out the heart a little bit, giving you this like sweeping dusting, if you will, right, of all this kind of lingering cloud, I almost want to say, that makes you not see yourself clearly. Okay. And that, again, that's difficult. That's so hard when you are a bit of a catalyst when it comes to relationships, or you go through catalytic partnerships, so they maybe don't last forever, but they change you, or that person changes, or you both change in such large, or like I want to say magnified ways, like in magnified ways. It's magnified change, or it's exuberant. It's just huge, right? You almost become different people. And I almost feel like rather than being kind of sad at that fact of, oh, maybe this person's in my life because we're about to go through another change. It's like you already pick up on the pattern. All right, I guess we got to go through another change and development, and I got to get new wings. And so you don't, maybe that's it. Maybe there's been this little air of pessimism when new people do enter your life, of like, well, they'll leave eventually. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to have that cosmic butterfly moment, and then they're going to move on. And so let's just get through it. And it's almost like maybe your heart has given up hope for anything long lasting. Okay. All right. I'm going to leave that there because I could just ramble on, I feel. But let's talk about 27 and ethereal touch right quick. Okay, it says, in short, the guidance of this oracle for you is that relationship healing is taking place. In present relationships unfolding, in attracting the right relationships for your future growth, and in leaving behind relationships of the past with a peaceful heart. Be gentle with your heart, beloved. All is well. All right, I'm going to skip the poems here, okay? Let's talk about the bride offering herself with 43. All right, it says this oracle offers you a message to accept what's being offered right now, whether through challenge or an easing of the way forward. There is a gift of grace from the divine feminine reaching for you now. Allow her in and be blessed. This oracle heralds a time of importance in relationship. You have been revealing yourself and not being afraid of who and what you are, sharing yourself and willingness to connect. Your vulnerability and beauty all breathe. I did it again. I keep flipping to the other one. Your vulnerability and beauty is acknowledged and will attract the response you need at the perfect time and in the perfect way. Every bride shall have her bridegroom, right? So there is something maybe very unique for you. For those of you that really resonate with this message, there is a unique type of partnership that maybe takes a little time, okay? So please don't beat yourself up or hold any shame or feel down if you haven't necessarily connected with the right lovers just yet, or if you don't have that prominent and profound relationship or that life partner feeling from the relationships that you might be in, okay? I really do feel like this is going to be a message of not giving up hope here, Scorp Sag, okay? And it's like Spirit's almost saying like, it's not you. It's not you. Like, maybe you've been thinking like, okay, is it me? Like, do I need to change? Do I need to shift? What am I doing wrong? It's not you. You've offered yourself as the bride. You have shown that you are willing to connect and your heart is open. It's more or less what's shifting around you, or maybe what has to shift in those that are meant to connect with you in this way. That is more or less at play here. So I feel like that's big confirmation for some of you. There's nothing that you need to do to really shift you right now. This Venus retrograde is coming in to kind of maybe even acknowledge the shifts and how open you really truly are, but there might be a lot shifting around you or in the hearts of those connected to you or those that are meant to connect with you right now. So you're kind of like just ready. You know what I mean? Just ready when the time is right, okay? So every bride shall have her bridegroom. There is someone for you, okay? And the divine is not going to let you be without connection, okay? So I feel like you can throw any of that worry. If it's like, well, maybe I'll just be alone forever, or maybe I'll just never find the right person. This person is going to find you more than likely. And I think that's a part of you, Scorp Sag, falling a little bit more into your yin energy, okay? All right, so Cosmic Butterfly, in short, says that the message for you from this oracle is that if your life feels like it's falling apart, then take heart, for it is falling apart to come back together in a new way. You are going through rebirth, just like a butterfly in a chrysalis. The agony and the delight and the sense of dying and being truly alive can all be held in the serene space of your heart. Surrender into what you are becoming now, and know that what you are leaving behind is but a shell that once will have held your fast emerging new self. All right, so you are emerging into newness, okay? You're gaining these cosmic butterfly wings, okay? I do think that maybe you are learning how to connect in new ways. Maybe you are learning how to continue to integrate that ethereal touch into how you show up in your relationships and partnerships. And I really do feel like there's just a need to trust. And I know we do not like hearing that too much in love and relationships, especially in love and relationship readings, but I do feel like something about this retrograde season is going to make a lot click for you, or a lot of peace might be coming in, okay? True peace and acceptance. It's like you're going to understand a little bit more about what the divine is actually trying to orchestrate for you when it comes to love and romance, okay? Which might make this like butterfly cosmic transition period a little easier for you, okay? So deeper understanding all the way around. What's going on with ethereal touch? Thank you. Yeah, Four of Swords with the Magician. Making peace with your past and standing in the space here with the Magician of knowing that you have the power to create your reality, right? You've been given the aces to do so. Clarify the Four of Swords with the Magician here. You can bring yourself into peace of mind, or you already have. I feel like this is where you kind of are. Yeah. Four of Cups in reverse. But maybe you're not seeing the cup that the divine has for you. So that's kind of making you feel maybe a little nervous, a little worried, a little concerned. Be mindful that you're not overthinking. Yeah. Okay, you got the Six of Cups. And the Eight of Swords, like I said, you can't see it. And that's okay. I don't know that you're meant to. Okay, Scorp Sag. Maybe you can't even see. That's what I mean. I literally feel that. Like, you've planted seeds, but you haven't been able to see them grow. You've brought emotional harmony and peace to others, but yet you can't see how that has had an effect on those that you used to be in connection with, or that you are even still in connection with for some of you. Clarify, the bride offers herself. Thank you. The Wheel of Fortune, right. And the Seven of Cups. And I think that's what it is. It's like, shouldn't something have happened by now? Like, I've been here, I've been authentic, I've been heart open. Why isn't this like falling into place, right? The Five of Swords. Okay. Is it me? That's what I keep feeling. Is it me, or like, am I the problem? Am I the problem? It's because you don't get to see the joy, and for whatever reason, Scorp Sag, you don't get to see the joy or the harmony or the balance or the peace you bring to people. Or maybe even the people that you have been in that Six of Cups energy with, they don't really tell you how happy they are when they connect with you, or how much you've changed them, or how much you ground them, or how much you bring them peace. Like, they don't speak to the ethereal touch that you have, so it's hard for you to see it because no one's confirmed it for you, right? So maybe this is Spirit's way of confirming it for you. Like, I think you have a sense and an idea, but I don't know why the people you've been in connection with or are in connection with pretend like you aren't this ethereal touch. Yeah, but I feel like you're turning it on yourself, so be careful with that. Yeah, that's gonna be don't put swords in your own back here, Scorp Sag, okay? Be careful with that. You got the Eight of Wands. Yeah, it's like there's a need to take it as a sign. How can we clarify that a little bit more, though, Spirit? Take it as a sign. The Five of Wands, yeah. Maybe, unfortunately, what you have found is a lot of competition in your partnerships. Rather than people acknowledge the Six of Cups that you offer, they rather be in resistance or act resistant towards you or challenge you or compete with you. And that often leads into the Ten of Swords. They end up betraying you or trying, it's almost like this proving you wrong. Like, I don't know, Scorp Sag, maybe you have this kind of too good to be true type of a thing that people find themselves falling into when they're connected to you. So they try to look for your flaws, or they try to pick you apart, and that ends up hurting. That ends up creating distance between y'all, or it ends up kind of making you feel like you're in that Ten of Swords, that betrayal. Here's another thing I feel too, Scorp Sag. Your intuition always clues you into the moment that people turn into that Five of Wands energy with you. And I think for a while you maybe ignore it because you want to have the connection. Do you know what I mean? You ignore it, or you let it slide, or, oh no, that's not how they really feel. Oh, they were just joking. Oh, no. And it's like, no, they weren't, you know? So maybe this is a bit of healing here, where the Ten of Swords that you've been through, from the relationships, partnerships, friendships, connections, that you were showing up authentically in, you were showing up heart open in, you were offering yourself as the bride in those situations, and that was either not seen, not appreciated, or seen and blatantly ignored. Because it's almost weird. I don't know why it's difficult for people to acknowledge that. because I'm hearing like envy a little bit. It brings about this feeling of envy or jealousy in a way where, like, rather than people appreciating that energy that you bring, that balance that you offer, they want to be the one to do it. Like, I don't know what that is, Scorp Sag, but it's something I see a lot in my readings for y'all, and it's like, it definitely is some form of a pattern, okay? Where, like, people don't want to believe that you are what you say you are. People don't want to believe that you're actually genuine. People don't want to believe that you're dealing with them from a pure space within you. People don't even want to believe and acknowledge the effect that you have, or how they've changed from connecting with you. They rather stay quiet, or they rather act like you don't. It's like, you know, I'm getting, it's that whole idea of when someone's really, like, conventionally or traditionally pretty or beautiful or handsome, and people shy away from acknowledging their beauty or their looks or giving them compliments because it's like, oh, you already know that you're beautiful. You already know that you're so smart, or you already know that you have a lot going for you. So I don't need to remind you. I don't need to say that. I don't need to, you know, you already hear it from so many different people. I'm going to be the one that doesn't tell you that. Like, it gets like that. And I'm not really sure wholeheartedly why, but I do see that consistently here. And I feel like that has caused you a lot of hurt. That caused you a lot of hurt. Because you are being genuine, you are being heart open, you are being authentic and true to you. And whether people want to see that or believe that or not is on them. It's really a lot of immaturity in the mindset, I feel. Page of Swords. It's like they watch you, or they tune into you, or they see you, or they pick you apart, or try to get to know you so that they can copy it, or they can emulate it, and they can be it without giving you. That's what I don't know what I'm. That's just what I feel. Maybe that's been the story, but I feel that story shifting. Okay. I feel that story shifting, because that is really unfortunate to have to go through that. And I feel like that's been more often than not. Yeah, you've got the Empress at the bottom. Death. You've got the King of Wands. The Page of Cups. Temperance. There you are. Right. And Devil energy. With the Five of Cups. Yeah. And that's what I mean. Like, judgment eventually gets called in these situations. You fall back into your Nine of Pentacles. And it's moving from this Five of Cups of like, well, all right. Like, I guess I got to go back to focusing just on my two cups. I guess I got to go back into my singlehood, because people fall into that devil's trap when it comes to you. Rather than ascending, or rather than going through the changes, or rather than shifting themselves, they try to, I don't even think they try. I don't know that a lot of it is fully conscious. Maybe it is. It just brings out this kind of, that's what I mean, the envy, the jealousy, the wanting to control, not wanting to acknowledge. Maybe that's even the thing. People maybe even know that that hurts you or that harms you in some way. So when tempted with the opportunity to do it, they often choose it. But that's just a reflection of them, Scorp Sag. That's not a reflection of you. And I think you've absorbed it as a reflection of you. And that's what I mean. Spirit's coming in to give you new wings. Temperance. This is you. Page of Cups with the King of Wands. It's like you are that heart open energy. But that scorpionic transformation kind of vibe, not a lot of people can go through comfortably. Not a lot of people like to change in that way or shift in that way. So it ends up eventually kind of becoming an issue or a problem. And again, I do see that maybe has hurt here quite a lot. So maybe that's a lot of that that's coming up here for you. King of Pentacles and the Three of Wands with the Chariot after, right? That's what I mean by, like, you kind of anticipate that, oh, well, watch. As soon as you get that message and those signs and synchronicities of someone turning this Two of Cups into a competition, into a comparison, into a anything you can do, I can do better, or into that you're not as good as you think you are, like, and that it's just a nasty energy. And I'm sorry, Scorp Sag, because that I can totally understand you absorbing that as like, well, maybe fuck, that's me, like, shit, you know what I mean? Like, maybe I'm not, I thought I was a heart opener, I thought I was being general, maybe. I feel like that whole sense of questioning yourself when you find yourselves dealing with people who end up being this Page of Swords devil energy towards you, rather than question yourself, I think Spirit's trying to get you to question the person. Like, you don't have to beat yourself up for, again, people's choices and actions, because it's all a choice. People don't have to choose to treat you like that, but for whatever reason they do. Okay? But I do see that this Venus retrograde might be calling you into a higher alignment with the Chariot. You are still keeping your Queen of Cups intact here, which we love. And we've got the Four of Pentacles, maybe guarding the heart a little bit more until you can better discern who is able to stand with you on the other side of the Three of Wands. Okay, because maybe what this has been is you giving the benefit of the doubt to a lot of people. Again, maybe there are like signs and synchronicities or red flags or things that you should pay attention to that you maybe bypass because you want to be understanding of where people are. You know, you don't want to have a closed heart towards people. And so I think that that's maybe been the challenge of actually guarding yourself a little bit more and discerning when that's necessary. Because for whatever reason, it's like that devil energy sneaks up on people who do get into this Two of Cups with you and tempts them with that, you know, option of you can be true to Scorp Sag, or you can do them dirty, or you can, you know, grime them in some sort of way, whether it's being presented that contrasting or like that blatantly, or it's a little more covert. I do feel like that happens, and people tend to choose the devil energy. Okay, so I think that Spirit is trying to get you to start thinking of a reality with the Magician energy and the Four of Swords and the Page of Swords and Temperance and the Wheel of Fortune. Start thinking of a reality where that competition doesn't exist. That's what I think Venus retrograde is trying to set you up for, or get you in the action of, where, yes, that maybe was the past, but you're not in the past anymore. You're here in the present, Scorp Sag. And you deserve to share your heart with those who can also share their heart with you. Okay? And maybe that's a little bit of the case. Like, maybe there is a little bit more of a vetting process that has to happen, Scorp Sag, before you open up, rather than just loving to love. You know what I mean? Not everybody is worth that energy. Not everybody deserves that from you, and not everybody who's asking for that has good intentions. And unfortunately, it does maybe feel like you had to learn that the hard way, but you are learning it. Yeah, Two of Pentacles with the Four of Wands and the Six of Swords. So that's what I mean. And the Sun. Oh, we're pulling this out for sure. Yep. The Sun and the Emperor. So there is absolutely somebody here for you with the Ten of Pentacles beneath that. Okay? There is. There absolutely is. or for sure will be. Okay, and I think that's what Spirit just wants you to remain hopeful for. Don't give up hope. Don't give up your faith and belief that the divine will deliver that to you. Okay, so you just focus on living in a reality where people don't get competitive with you. People don't turn your offer of friendship, your offer of relationship and connection into some sort of game. Okay, because you're not playing games. But unfortunately, you've dealt with people who were, more susceptible to that devil energy than maybe you were aware of, okay? Yeah, it's kind of like the Temperance and the Devil trying to prove that, I don't know, trying to watch and see and compete and bring out maybe the more shadowy energy in you, trying to trigger you. Because again, it's like, you can't be temperance, you can't be this angel, you can't be this balanced, this wise, or this calm, or this emotionally intelligent, whatever the case may be. It's like people, I don't know why, Scorp Sag, but that's what I keep seeing for y'all. But we're claiming a new timeline. We're moving out of that reality and shifting into a new one. I do see that, okay? And that will probably start once Venus's retrograde is over. So this is almost like a clean out and a clean up, so that this Emperor can come in for you regardless of your gender, okay? You did show up here, Empress energy, next to Death. Okay. Alrighty, Divine. Tell me a little bit more about what Scorp Sag maybe needs to connect with, focus on, or understand to get into this new reality. The 4th chakra, okay? So maybe a little heart chakra work could benefit you here, Scorp Sag. Romantic love, that's what I mean. You gotta maybe envision the romance that you want a little bit more. It's not delulu, it's not silly, it's manifesting, actually, right? You've got the 7th chakra. One more here for this Rose Spirit. Tell me a little bit more about what Scorp Sag needs to focus in on in order to get into this new reality. Joy, okay? All right, so the 4th chakra supports our inner guidance system, which is governed by our heart and the capacity to love deeply. Romantic love supports our experience to know ourselves through the reflection of a conscious lover. That's this Sun and this Emperor here. Then you've got the crown chakra, supports our feeling of being connected to a higher power and a part of a larger whole. And I think, unfortunately, maybe you've had to bear the brunt of that 10 of Swords from people because that was a part of the larger whole process at play. And that's what's going to maybe make this joy a little bit more sweeter for you, okay? Joy activates our feelings of happiness and well-being and supports our high vibrational frequency, okay? Then you've got surrender. Surrender supports us to let go of illusionary control and yield to the flow of love and life. So this is, again, I feel there was nothing that you could have done differently, Scorp Sag, and maybe this is what you need to hear. There is nothing that you could have done differently that would have led to a different outcome. It feels like this was a part of your growth journey. This was a part of you learning you so that you can embody more of you when you enter into the romantic love that's designed for you. Because they want me to say that it's designed for you. Okay. Then you've got connection, exactly. All right, you've got connection supports our ability to find alignment and resonance with others, things, and ideas, exactly. So surrender there, that at some level, right, there was a resonance there, there was a connection. And that's what I mean. You have that scorpionic energy, so you go through those transformations, and then it's like, okay, I don't resonate with that anymore. And maybe that's what kind of brings out that devil energy too. When you no longer resonate on that frequency, then you're hard to reach, or you're hard to understand, or people feel like you're changing and you switched up, and it's like, well, that's the whole point. Do you know what I mean? So I think there's just maybe been a lot of misunderstandings. Some unknowingly, some knowingly, like intentionally misunderstanding you, okay? But this is going to be a time of beautiful reflection for you on the abundance that you've been able to gain. And I think that is an abundance of awareness of yourself. And that's a beautiful gift, okay, Scorp Sag? So hold on to that. You've got the energy of abundance activating your ability to manifest the wealth you need and the sense of fulfillment that comes from a heart and soul that are overflowing with love and gratitude. So the more you find your joy, the more you find your gratitude, the more you continue to not only love yourself, but love those that are connected to you, the more this kind of all comes together. So I think it's just Spirit saying, surrender the past, surrender what happened. It wasn't a reflection of you. It was an opportunity for those to maybe ascend with you or reach a higher timeline. So maybe you kind of act like a bridge in relationships, a bridge, a catalyst. And people often maybe let their fears stop them from crossing that bridge, but that's not your fault. Maybe you've been holding on like, oh, you know, it was me. I don't think that was your fault. Surrender that timeline, surrender that storyline, surrender that narrative, Scorp-Sag, and start building the narrative where your connections and your romantic love bring you that joy and abundance that you know you're worthy of, that you know you deserve, okay, from someone who also deserves that same thing from you. Because that's what I see kind of eventually happening here, okay? So these seeds planted in your heart and the hearts of those that you're meant to connect with are growing. You can trust that, Scorp-Sag. Let me know your thoughts about this reading or how this maybe assists or connects with something you're feeling throughout Venus's retrograde and beyond it. I love you all so much, and I thank you for being here. And I'll see you in our next one, all right? Namaste.